Here come the red lights. When they go out, the race is on. And away they go for race 2 of the Qualcomm New York City E-Prix, and already drivers are mixing it up on the clean line.
And you saw it right there, exactly as yesterday. The guy in second position had a big advantage. We've seen a bit of a crash. You hear the carbon fiber braking. That's the sound of dollar bills being set fire to.
Tom Tillman went right up the inside, through at the very narrowest part of the hairpin as everybody's got blocked on the outside, but it looks like one of the Techeetah cars is dragging bodywork, and then it might be Jean-Éric Vergne.
I believe it is. Jev has something hanging off the side of the car. More bumping and pushing as they go through that tight corner.
Yeah, there you go, the back, the wheel pod on Jev's car, and the back right of Jev's car, that is, he'll probably have to come in and have that replaced if he wants to actually have any kind of result in the race. Then he needs a safety car to get back in contention. We see some bump in there again, the DS Virgin car.
Heidfeld jumped through in the red and white Mahindra car.
We've got a problem, one of the Abt cars going slow.
If that's de Grassi, it's not de Grassi.
No, it's
there is de Grassi. It's Daniel Abt, unbelievably.
The man with no luck at all.
Heartbreaking finish yesterday. He started on the front row, ran among the front runners, and with 1 lap to go, the car failed him.
Rosenqvist with the lead.
Great start.
And that's Daniel Abt, and that might save them a little bit of energy because that car is right in the middle of the road, Dario. That's almost guaranteed safety car.
Yeah, rather than even a full course yellow, yeah. It's got to be I think there's got to be a safety car with that one to come and get it.
And we'll apologise in advance for Jean-Éric Vergne's language if we hear the radio, because he has been handed a drive through and get your car replaced flag.
Bit of defending already by Antonio Felix da Costa, defending from Loic Duval. Antonio Felix da Costa was in the Andretti car ahead there.
We saw Daniel Abt moving once again, so perhaps we can avoid a yellow flag in this situation.
Yeah. Track's clear at turn 6, so he has got underway again, but he'll possibly be heading into the pits.
So as Dario mentioned, Felix Rosenqvist, the winner in Berlin, moved past pole sitter Sam Bird to take first position. Bird is second. Jean-Éric Vergne, will he make the pit lane? Running in third right now. Nick Heidfeld fourth. Pierre Gasly, the 21-year-old French rookie for Renault e.dams, in fifth.
I walked past Gasly on the way back to the commentary booth, and he had that laser-like focus. He was definitely ready to go to work today.
I'm saying it now, Gasly's on the podium.
Oh,
wow, big prediction. Yeah. Today, qualifying is really about the confidence the guy has in the setup. Oh, Prost!
Curse of the commentator, that was Gasly breaking himself, even as the words were still hanging in the air.
No sooner does Martin Haven insist Gasly's a factor than he runs wide.
The Venturi car is looking to set him up. Mauro Engel he was very good yesterday. He's just waiting here. So he's getting closer, setting that pass up. Turn 6, turn 1, and maybe turn 2 are your main passing spots here, but it takes you about half a lap to set those up.
Felix Rosenqvist, Sam Bird, the race leaders are jumping away. There's only 3/10 in between them. There they are, but they're starting to creep away from Nick Heidfeld in third. Remember yesterday, for about half the race, we thought there'd be 2 of the red and white Mahindras on the podium. In the end, neither made it to the finish, one reason or another. And there's Jean-Éric Vergne.
Leaving already, leaving pit lane. So that was
ripped the bodywork off.
Very good.
Take off the offending piece.
Yep, and off you go again.
See the running order on the left of your screen. And that percentage number is the usable energy remaining in the battery. When that gets down around 1, 2, 3%, you had better be in the pits.
I think it was about 5% a lap yesterday. It's a longer race today, so they might be using a little bit less. We talked about qualifying, really about the confidence the driver has in the chassis. Obviously, the powertrain's important, but the race a lot is about powertrain efficiency and having a setup on the car that the driver can really work with the car and carry momentum the whole time.
Now let's talk about speed here. Yesterday, fast race laps were 1 minute 5.4.3. At the moment, the leaders are doing 1 minute 6.7. So they know that they've got to save energy with the regeneration, and that's starting pretty much at the beginning of the race, as soon as the battery starts to empty.
I think Mauro Engel has damage as well.
I was about to say, yeah, one of the crash attenuators at the back right wheel is flapping around.
And he's also been told to come into the pits and get that attended to, and all that bunching up on the opening laps, hardly a surprise.
See the drivers asking, how am I doing in terms of energy?
Yeah, it's in the back of their minds.
At the moment. It's a bit early to say. +2 forward, please, on bias. That's final instruction from us.
+2 on bias. When the regeneration of the battery, when you brake, it changes the brake balance in the car, the mechanical brake balance. So the drivers are chasing that all day. As the battery temperature goes up, then the regeneration demands change as well, and the balance is going to be chased the whole time. Sam Bird is just sitting there, and he looks very, very comfortable sitting behind Felix Rosenqvist. Felix is not getting away. And I think I feel, if I'm Sam Bird, I'm feeling comfortable. Let's watch a replay of the start. Great traction from Felix Rosenqvist. It was really in that first 10 feet, got him the track position. And then you see that, look at that initial acceleration as Sam Bird tries to defend, but already too late.
Yep. Rosenqvist is already there in the red and white Mahindra car. Oh, coming up fast on the inside, coming to a complete stop, one of the Venturis.
We'll see as it concertinas up. Just watch how it concertinas up ahead here and how quickly they stop, and then you hear the crunch of the carbon fiber. Go. That's one of the things with the motor making such little noise, you can hear the crunch as they... And here we see it turn 6 on that opening lap as well, and some contact with Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, he got tagged from behind Marango by Oleg Turvey, didn't he?
Yes,
so that's where the damage came from. And Daniel Abt, I can't believe his bad luck. His only deal now is get in the second car and try and get the point for the Visa fast lap.
Oliver Turvey defending fairly heavily already into turn 2.
Working lap number 5 of 49. Felix Rosenqvist trying to stay alive in the championship. He must win the race to do that, being chased by Sam Bird, who is in the exact same situation in the points. Then Nick Heidfeld, who's already been eliminated. Pierre Gasly making his weekend debut in Formula E, a 21-year-old Frenchman. Maro Engel, Oliver Turvey, Tom Dillman, Lucas di Grassi, Nico Prost, and Mitch Evans, the top 10.
You see Dillman defending heavily against di Grassi, and this is very early in the race to be doing that. And obviously he's lifting and coasting a bit on the straight, and that is making him open to get it overtaken. Now, you know what tends to happen is you lift on the straight to save energy, but then you make up the speed and the time in the corner, so you're swapping straight line speed for mid-court entry and mid-corner speed. It's very, very difficult to do, and it requires a much different technique and a slightly different setup in the car. Do you see this oversteer through turn 10?
Tom Dillman around Maro Engel, and there's a change.
Lucas di
Dillman
Grassi
has gone up 2 spots.
Outside line for di Grassi. Being
Engel has gone down 2, rather. So Engel, big mistake there.
Di Grassi making the move.
Yep. And Maro Engel with that damaged rear end.
He's got to come in.
Well, it's a warning. It's not mandatory, is it? Black and orange is we think there's something you need to know about your car.
They'll probably get a message from the race director at some point. Coming up a word, old son.
Now, all of these cars are using the same batteries built by the Williams Grand Prix engineering firm. They are gigantic things. Many, many, many lithium-ion cells to store the power, 28 kilowatts of power that the drivers are allowed to use in a very specific way during the course of the race. People ask, well, you know, if the cars don't last a whole race, why do they have to change cars instead of just putting a new battery in? The batteries weigh about 500 pounds, and the structure they're in within the car is a part of the fundamental structure of the chassis. So it's better to just change an entire race car to a fully charged one.
We have a yellow flag in turn 4 and 5. That's around about pit entrance.
Yeah, and I think that's Mitch Evans.
Plastic bag or other paper debris just scooped up.
Trying to get it reverse.
Or a bit of Jaguar. It's Mitch Evans trying to find his way out of trouble.
Is the BMS arrow still there?
Yeah, but I can't get into neutral.
Oh, Maro Engel.
Ran it off the wall, and watch it. The steering's still somewhat... No, it's not somewhat straight, but...
Yeah. That's why he lost all those spots and why he came into the pits.
Hold reverse.
Broken steering. So Mitch Evans, BMS, Battery Master System or Management System, that's the whole deal of trying to get the car to move in any way. So he's now Control-Alt-Deleting furiously.
And Mitch Evans is in the Tech Pro.
P2.
Yep, and
reset.
He's in a dangerous spot there. If he sits there much longer, we're having a chat with the race director, and then coming in, the bag has come off Felix Rosenqvist's car. Look at this corner, fastest corner in Formula E, and you can see that oversteer. See the roll from the rear end of the car as it's under all that pressure.
That's
great
turn
corner.
10.
Yeah, turn 10.
No, it's not working. It's not working.
I think we're going to see probably a full course
Should I
yellow.
assist you to remove the car there, or you make it on your own?
That's the race director.
That's Nils Wittich, the race director.
It's not working.
Yeah.
Okay, just wait a second.
The first time this weekend a Jaguar has found the Tech Pro barriers.
So he locks up and rolls to a halt.
Sounds like he locked up and then couldn't actually get reverse more than anything else.
And I wonder, you know, when you get a neutral in a normally aspirated, a normal gas engine car, suddenly, you know, the handling is completely all to pieces. I wonder if that's the same.
Don't really get out when the pack is gone.
Sometimes it gets trapped between a gear as well. You can't get it into
This
reverse.
is race control. We will have full course yellow
Now on
in
shot again,
10,
it seems that the car is on
9,
P2.
8,
Can you confirm if you have
7,
the error or not?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow. Full course yellow.
Full course yellow, a virtual safety car. If you whoa, it's one of the Mahindras. That was Nick Heidfeld. Yes.
Yeah,
Everybody must slow to the pit lane speed limit. The no passing allowed.
That was nearly a very real crash.
Yeah, he saw them
Very
checking
much
up in front of him at the last minute. And look at the gap to Pierre Gasly. Gasly got on the limiter immediately because he was right behind Nick Heidfeld.
Fast lap of the race thus far, set by Jean-Éric Vergne. That's worth a point in the Visa Fast Lap Challenge. And now it's time to close the voting in the Fan Boost competition. Thank you for your votes. Lucas di Grassi for Audi Schaeffler, for Abt Schaeffler Audi Sport, and his teammate Daniel Abt, who's had nothing but problems thus far, as well as Nick Heidfeld for the Mahindra team, currently in third place, will get the extra power boost in their second car.
You see the gaps holding station here. Under a safety car, they could all pack up, but under a full course yellow, you have to hold those laps, like you said, the gaps, like you said, Bob. They're on the pit lane limiter, holding that same speed, and it doesn't change the complexion
This is race
of the race as
control.
much.
We will have full course yellow ending in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Ready to stand
4,
on it, boys.
3,
Better hope you're
2,
straight when it comes.
1. Green flag, green flag.
Well, the first three are Rosenqvist, Bird, and Heidfeld.
Is Bird going to have
Okay,
a go?
where's the Renault? Where's the Renault? The top three are together. The Renault was close to them. It's not even in the same shot.
Gasly.
So something's happened to Gasly. Has his speed limiter not released?
Here he comes, but
No.
he's well back.
No,
That was
Turvey's
Turvey.
next. I agree, Turvey. Oh,
no, maybe.
17.50.
what is going on?
But Gasly was right with them. They were the gang of four, and now it's just a trio.
Copy.
And Bird has got trouble in front and behind. He can't get by Rosenqvist, and he needs to try and get away before his tyre life fades. And he's got Heidfeld right
If your
behind.
brakes are above 400,
He's in a
above
Mahindra
400,
sandwich.
Brake 10, 3 turns forwards, brake 10,
Long
3
gap
turns
back to
forwards.
Pierre
turns
Gasly there
forward.
in fourth place, and
3
Ollie
turns
Turvey.
is a massive amount of an adjustment to make.
Sounded like there was a lot of temperature problem. 400.
Turvey, Dillman, the whole
That's
group
the racing
here.
driver.
That's pretty much the rest of your field. There's Alex Lynn in 14th in the other purple machine. And the man with the least power at the moment, usable power, is Oliver Turvey, who's holding everybody up in 5th place. And that's why, because he's trying to lift and coast and regen as much as he can to
Oh,
get
move
back on
from
the same
Sam Bird.
page.
Sam-
Oh, brave down the inside.
Rosenqvist will try the over-under. Oh, he's going to be passed by his teammate.
Is he? Drag
Nick
race into
Heidfeld.
7.
Nick Heidfeld, you sneaky devil.
Old age and treachery.
Overused enthusiasm every time. Paul Newman's favorite expression.
Let's see if Sam Bird can check out now. It's such confidence right now, such confidence in the car and the team, and certainly in his own abilities.
Okay, head down, save energy.
Go
save
fast.
energy.
Go fast,
Rosenqvist
save
has
energy.
1% more than you.
Jean-Éric Vergne with the fastest race lap after that damage that dropped him way to the tail of the field. That's all he can do in the car at the moment, and hope that attrition helps to play into his hands.
He's hoping for a safety car, isn't he? He's hoping for a full reset of the field.
Right.
Look at this move. You can see how
Play.
he just set him up, and Felix was too late. Felix locked the rears on trying to defend from in 2. Very opportunistic pass by Sam Bird. Very nice.
That could have been a disaster for the Mahindra team.
50.10.
Look at that. Look at the car snaking on the brakes as those
Car
rears
target
start to lock.
is 1.16.
And Rosenqvist been around the block enough times not to try and turn in, because then they're both out.
Oh yeah.
Can't
Smart
win
boy.
if you shut the door in places like that. Alex Ty punching the air with both fists, and I'm sure Sam Bird would have done if he wasn't busy steering around the track. He is trying to check out, and that's exactly what we saw yesterday.
You probably want a second or so lead. I wouldn't say much more, because then if a safety car does come out, it's all for naught, and you've used the energy to make it. Obviously, if you can pull away well, using less energy, you're going to take a little bit of advantage, but you also take stuff out the tyres and overheat the brakes, so it's very much winning at the slowest speed. You do.
Tom Dillman all over the back of Oliver
Smoke
Turvey, who is
signals
really,
locking up
really
everywhere.
struggling, and Dillman trying to get the lock on to stay ahead of the green and yellow car of Lucas di Grassi, who thinks he's going to get 2 spots here. He might get 1. Not quite close enough for the overlap.
On the pylon on the left, the change in position in the race from grid position where a driver started. All the drivers at the top either stayed status quo, Bird and Rosenquist, or moved up positions, except for those drivers who found problems in the early laps of this race. Now do the math. You see the remaining energy in the batteries hovering around 50%. Look at the top of your screen, the lap count. If you're going to go 49 laps, you have to go about 24, 25 laps with that energy. So you've already used up half of your energy, and you have to be careful about getting to that midway point in the race.
If there's a safety car as early as lap 20, the teams will take it today.
Di Grassi is really attacking hard behind Tom Dillman. Look, Oliver Turvey, he was almost swamped by both of them, is checked out now, and Di Grassi is all over the back of Dillman. They're that lead of that little queue of cars.
Di Grassi's looking here and he's seeing how far up the road Gasly is. Never mind Heidfeld and Rosenquist and Co. He knows if he's going to make anything happen, he's going to make moves now. He's got to get by Dillman, he's got to get by Turvey, and he's got to get on with the job.
Ooh,
big move,
looking
come
down
on,
the
up
inside of Dillman this time. He's absolutely confirmed. Got alongside, through he goes into 2.
Head down, like Sam Bird's engineer said, head down, save energy, go fast, catch the car in front.
Laps.
Tell me how many laps I've got left.
1-3.
Yeah.
13 complete.
They want to go to 27, so all that, yeah, how many we've completed, okay. So either way, we're sort of halfway through now, aren't we?
Halfway through the stint.
Yeah.
1-2. 1-2.
Is that laps to go before they quit?
It's got to be, yeah.
You think? No, 26? No.
Now think back to Marrakesh. The man who made all the moves, who made all the passes was Lucas di Grassi. That was one of his best overtaking races, and he's in the same sort of frame of mind now, I think. We saw him coming into the garage yesterday after the race, and the team looked a bit downcast because he was only 4th position. He came in and he said, hey, come on guys, cheer up, nobody died. Now that's the right frame of mind that he carries into today.
3% better than Turvey ahead.
So he can afford to use a little bit more to get up to him. Look, he's on him already.
Yeah, he can have a lunge.
He's got to have a look down at turn 6. If he wants to get up there, he's got to look at turn 6 now. Don't waste any time. Don't slow down to Turvey's speed. Yeah. Get the move done into 6. Get a run off of 5 coming up. The next corner is turn 5. Get a run off of here. Make the move into 6.
And that sky blue car, 4 cars back in this train, is Nico Prost, who started 14th for Renault E-Dams. He's now up to 8th.
Yeah, Renault E-Dams cars 7th and 8th yesterday, currently running 4th and 8th.
Lucas di Grassi came from a long way back, made the move, telegraphed it, didn't lock up, no histrionics, across the surface change, and that's where Felix Rosenquist crashed yesterday trying to defend from that man, Lucas di Grassi. So there's not a lot of grip there, but Lucas made it look pretty easy.
A little bit of debris on the right front corner, just a plastic bag of some kind.
This is his next chance into 1.
Look, he's got almost a lap on Turvey.
Here he comes, here he comes.
A great move down the inside. And that leaves Turvey still the stopper in the bottle for the queue in front. His partner appreciates that.
Nice 18th green applause there.
Yeah.
7 seconds behind Gasly though. 7.6. It's going to take some catching.
Check out the crowd behind the fences, 4 and 5 deep. The grandstands are full. Another terrific crowd here in New York.
These queue of cars sailing by them every lap as well.
1-0.
That's the back of the pits.
This is a traffic jam. This is a New York traffic jam. These guys are going to have to go. And Lucas di Grassi, he cannot afford to mess around here. He's got to be driving away from these guys and closing that gap.
There's your leader, Sam Bird.
Let's go, club.
Big implications in the team's championship, followed by Rosenquist and Heidfeld in the 2 red and white Mahindra cars. Then Pierre Gasly in the first of the sky blue Renault E-Dams machines. Lucas di Grassi for Abschäffler Audi Sport. Oliver Turvey in one of the next EV Neo cars. Tom Dillman. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for just a moment. Tom Dillman in one of the Venturi machines based in Monaco, a stop on this year's tour. And then Prost, followed by Stéphane Sarrazin, who is also marching forward, and Jerome D'Ambrosio with Faraday Future Dragon Racing in 10th place.
Just watch when Felix Rosenqvist starts to hit the bumps and the curbs, how his head is shaking around here. He's trying all he can to keep that head as straight as possible, because obviously the more his head's bounced around, the more his sight goes away a little bit and he can't actually see where he's going.
Funny, isn't it, how from the outside you see the head rattled around, but the brain levels your vision, and so you barely notice it as a driver.
There's a point where you don't, there's a point where you actually cannot see. They haven't reached that point here. In Hong Kong, there was a couple of spots they were literally saying, we cannot see. The wheels are off the ground.
You can clearly see the rubbered-in racing line now.
Nelson Piquet under investigation by the stewards. Oh, big deep lunge.
Oliver Turvey.
Yeah.
Prost got him though. Stay on the inside, you find.
Next
Still
corner's
there.
a left-hander.
Still there.
Yeah,
But Prost is on the dirty part of the track when he hits the brakes.
But he braked early enough. He did what Felix Rosenqvist didn't do yesterday. He braked early enough.
C'est bien, Nico. Beau boulot. On sera sur une target 1.10 au prochain tour.
Good job they're saying. And
Merci
giving him his
Dillman,
below, yeah.
Dillman crossed up into 5. First pass we've seen it in 5 all weekend.
The huge rooster tail of dust off the dirty part of the racetrack as he did it.
And right behind Stéphane Sarrazin in the black and gold car. Turvey's in trouble.
It really is.
Well, he had the lowest usable energy in the car, didn't he? So he was having to lift and coast. And there's a change. That's Duval has just gone by Da Costa. So that is for 11th.
It's literally a traffic jam from Prost all the way back.
That was not Duval, that was D'Ambrosio retaking 10th place from Da Costa, in fact. I think Felix had got alongside him.
Was that the Jaguar? Massive sideways. Yikes! Scared the cameraman there.
When the scenery is going right to left in front of your visor, you know you've got an issue.
He was going fast enough.
Adam Carroll having all kinds of excitement.
Adam Carroll's parents are here this weekend. I saw them in the catering area. They haven't had much to cheer about, but I'm sure they're proud of their man driving for Panasonic Jaguar.
He's up to P14, and if he can hang on to it, he'll be looking good.
And Sarrazin just got by Turvey as well into turn 2, so he's picked up a spot up to 8th place. Suddenly it's all going on, isn't it? They're all obviously comfortable. They've got enough energy to get there, apart maybe from Ollie Turvey. Or is he having harvesting issues?
That's what I think, because that's what we saw yesterday with Alex Lynn. There was some harvesting issues going on. We didn't know about it, and to see Oliver Turvey drop like this, sounds like there's something wrong, doesn't there?
Yeah, I don't think he forgot to drive overnight.
Let's watch this oversteering moment. Let's watch the Jaguar coming to sight now.
Jeez. And of course, the further wide he gets, the more he gets onto the bad pavement.
How good is that? Maximum on the rack stops.
Redefining drive it like you stole it. Adam Carroll.
Good man.
Well done.
And that was literally just getting on the dirty part of the track. And when that happens, it feels like the wheels are falling off. It feels like you got a flat tire, but it's just because this track is so dirty offline. And the more they run, we've got to move.
Oh, what's happening there?
Jerome D'Ambrosio to the outside. Not going to happen there.
Outside, inside. Can he cut back?
The more the track rubbers in, the bigger that discrepancy is.
Duval behind. Duval's trying to get around the Andretti car, boxing him in behind his teammate. Couldn't do it.
No.
Oh,
I don't think he's done trying.
problem behind for Alex Lynn. I think Alex Lynn just got jumped by Piquet. He was very slow off the corner, Alex Lynn. Let's look further back. Can't see him.
Martin, when these guys sit in the cars, they cannot see the end of that nose. They don't know how far it is. So, yeah, Lynn stopped.
Yeah.
So when they're pushing the car in front, it's not. A lot of times it's not on purpose. Sometimes it clearly is, but they can't actually see what's going on.
Daniel Abt goes by the station car of Alex Lynn. That's where Daniel Abt's race ended on the final lap yesterday.
Now, this is just a local
Alex,
yellow
race
flag.
Director, can you reboot the car?
At the moment, I don't think so.
Right round the outside for Jerome D'Ambrosio into turn 2. That shows you how slow, really how slow Oliver Turvey's having to run.
No, I can't turn on the car again.
Credit Niels Wittich, the race director,
Okay, just wait a
trying
second,
to
stay in the car.
allow drivers to alleviate that condition, get their car moving, stay in the race if they possibly can, so they don't have to call a full course yellow.
I think we'll see a full course yellow more than a safety car here again, which is helpful for the energy saving, but we don't get the field compressed up.
Yellow flags waving.
As a commentator, you love to see the field get compressed. As a driver, you used to hate it. Oh, especially when you're in front. Another
Duval
opportunistic
on the
pass.
left. Yep.
Antonio Felix Costa trying to avoid contact, but trying to hold that inside line as well, Dario. And that's a really tough ask, isn't it?
Yeah, and he did it beautifully. He did it absolutely. Lewis thinking, yeah, have a wee go here.
Whoa.
But Antonio didn't squeeze him into the wall. There was no stupid stuff. That
No
was
Monaco
good
moment
respect.
there, you're saying.
Jean-Éric Vergne almost got into the back of them.
Here's Jeff now going past Turvey.
Jean-Éric Vergne, look, 22% last lap usable energy. He's got more than almost anybody out there apart from Robin Friens. I think he can go a lap longer than anybody else.
Remember, he's coming back from that quick pit
This is
stop.
race control. We will have full course yellow in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Nicely
2,
timed pass.
1. Full course yellow, full course yellow.
So we slow down again. That'll help everyone's energy situation.
And at this point, Sam Bird keeps his 1.5 second lead.
So the noise in the pits there is now this.
Yeah.
As they desperately punch the digits into their computer programs to try and figure out if they've got enough for an extra full lap, or if they can do 2, and if they did, would it make a difference? And, you know, this is where you've got to trust the brains on the pit wall to come up with the right answer for you.
Now here's an opportunity while we're under the full course yellow to talk about the team championship situation. DS Virgin Racing is in 4th place, 24 points behind Mahindra Racing. Sam Bird on the race lead drives for DS Virgin. The 2 drivers behind him drive for Mahindra. Mahindra is 34 points behind Apschaeffler Audi Sport for 2nd place among teams. And right now they have the upper hand over the Audi Sport drivers. Daniel Abt nowhere in sight. Where's Lucas di Grassi? In 5th.
And we see Rosenquist and Heidfeld. Are they in the pit? It's showing they're in the pit. Lap 23, they can come in.
Yeah, they have come in.
Huh.
So too, oh no, just those 2. So just the 2 Mahindra cars.
And
Well,
Pierre-
they had sort of 13% energy.
Pierre Gasly came in. He had a lot more usable energy than anybody else in his kind of zip code.
Now, do they want to get Gasly in so that they can then do Prost next lap?
Now there's a minimum pit stop time for the safety of the crews around these high-powered electric cars.
47 seconds.
47 seconds. You cannot complete your pit stop and get back out any quicker than that.
And that's so they can make sure the seat belts are tight, make sure that everything's ready. The guy is not overextending the driver coming into the pits. It's a safety issue. I think it's a smart rule.
I do too.
Now then, they come out with Stéphane Sarrazin between them. Sarrazin is currently 3rd on the road. Right, that's triggered pit stops. Out comes Gasly. Also in is di Grassi, is Prost, is Dillman, is D'Ambrosio, is Da Costa, is Turvey, is everyone. Everyone is in except for Sam Bird, Stéphane Sarrazin, Jean-Éric Vergne, and Robin Friens. Vergne is going long on this one.
The difference for this is the next car, they'll have less laps to do. They'll be able to turn it up more, attack more.
Surely if it stays.
Yeah.
I would say Sam's not happy with that. I think he
Bird
probably
does
thinks
not want to be on track with everybody else having pitted here in end of full course yellow in 10, 9.
Box. Sam,
Yeah,
close release there. So they will pit Bird. You heard box, box, that means pit.
Sarrazin's got to come in, Verne's got to come in. They have to come in.
Yeah,
they
they've got to cover the leader.
Hung out there to dry, trying to stop under green.
Tell us when you're coming in.
Because
3, 2, 1.
They won't have enough laps
Disconnect
to go
radio.
out and separate themselves.
P1.
Copy box, copy box, copy box, copy box.
He's definitely coming in.
I think so.
Got the message.
Definitely got the message, but again, he's going to have to go 1 lap less than everybody else now. If he can come out with track
Lane in
leading,
3, 2.
he's looking good. Here he comes
As
into the
long
pits.
as full course yellow doesn't stop while he's still in the pit lane, and because the pit stop have cycled, I wonder if the race director is now going to artificially keep full course yellow until everybody has gone through the pit lane, so he doesn't ruin the championship potentially.
To keep a level playing field, it would be the thing to do. You see Sam Bird coming in, hopping over. He's only a little guy, so he can get in and out without the steering.
He's a racing
wheel coming
driver.
off. No comment.
They're supposed to be jockeys.
You hear those whistles blowing. Those are the pit marshals alerting the entire pit lane to the fact that a car is entering. These are electric cars, and they are virtually silent.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What is going on? Sarrazin stays out, Vergne stays out, Friens stays out. Both Techeetah cars are staying out.
Sarrazin is now in.
Yeah.
This is race control. We have full course yellow ending in 10.
That's the last thing
9,
He lost
Sarrazin wanted to hear.
He lost a fraction of the lead, but he's still looking
5,
good.
4,
And he's going to be
3,
straight when it goes, so he can accelerate out of the corner.
Green flag, green flag.
Whereas
There
Heidfeld has got full lock on.
26 laps, you have to see.
Good launch by Rosenqvist. So it's Bird, Rosenqvist, Heidfeld, Gasly, Robin Fringe now up into 5th, de Grassi to 6th,
I see
Cross to
27,
7th.
so I should change.
Why didn't Techeetah split their strategies?
Yes, one lap less.
You see the unique pit arrangement here with garages made up of tents facing one another, so the drivers look straight across at one another and have to be very careful as they exit the garage.
Absolutely, if they both exit at the same time in opposite garages, it could get ugly.
So we mentioned the top 10 with the Techeetah drivers heading for the pit lane. That means Jerome D'Ambrosio is now 10th, Oliver Turvey 11th, followed by Loic Duval, Adam Carroll, Nelson Piquet Jr., then the two Techeetah drivers, Sarrazin and Vergne, which rhymes with slow burn, which may be what the Frenchman is doing right now.
26.79.
Getting a lot of radio chatter.
Brake bias 1 turn forwards, brake bias 1 turn forwards. Laps on dash 25. Laps on dash 25.
Well, we roger that. 25 laps to go. 25 in. We're working lap 25.
What was Techeetah thinking?
I don't know. And again, you know,
I'm puzzled on that
they
one.
had such a positive day yesterday. And how can they not have thought we're going to run out of full course yellow?
I understand with Jean-Éric Vergne a bit, but Sarrazin was right up there.
No,
It's the basic 101.
So there you see Sam Bird on the race lead. Here come the Mahindras, Rosenqvist and Heidfeld. Waiting for Pierre Gasly. There he is, well back in the Renault E-Dams car. Followed closely by Robin Fringe for MS Emlyn Andretti, the home team for this New York City E-Prix, you might say. Michael Andretti lives within a couple hours drive in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Here comes Lucas di Grassi up into 6th. With Nico Prost in the other Renault. With Loic Duval going by Oliver Turvey. That's for 11th. Adam Carroll of Jaguar in 13th will now draw a bead on Oliver Turvey. And Nelson Piquet Jr., the season 1 champion of the Formula E series, was running back in 14th. A couple of spots behind teammate Turvey.
Don't forget Nelson Piquet also with a 10-second penalty be added to his race time, so he's 14th plus 10 seconds.
I think we're seeing here where the next EV guys struggle with race pace right now, struggle with powertrain efficiency. The speed not bad over 1 lap, but this is definitely exposing that with both Oliver and Nelson Piquet running in the wrong end of the field.
The other penalty is for Robin Fringe. He's 5th place. He'll also suffer a 5-second penalty for that grid drop.
And Robin Fringe has not stopped. He's got 9% energy, so he's probably got not quite 2 laps. If he pushes it, really, I guess he'll do 1 more, and he's got to come in.
Meanwhile, Daniel Abt, who had problems early in the race and is 18 laps behind, just went out in his 2nd car and set the fastest lap, picking up the Visa Fastest Lap Award and a championship point.
At the moment, but Mitch Evans, Maro Engel and Alex Lynn are all in the same situation, aren't they? That's their only conceivable point from this race. So we've got 4 drivers trying to do that.
Engel picked it up yesterday in our first race of the weekend.
We see Fringe trying to keep up with Pierre Gasly, locking up the wheels. He's really given it every single thing he's got. He's just maximum attack as he comes through turn 9 into this long left-hander of turn 10.
And he had nothing to lose, did he, by going long and trying something different because of that penalty, whereas Techeetah,
it's an odd decision. Whereas Sam Bird looks like he's on a Sunday drive. He's on the limit, but he's so smooth, as are the first 3.
Getting back to that Visa Fastest Lap Award, remember Daniel Abt had the fan boost and may have used it to get to that 103.898. Maro Engel just gave it his best shot and was 104.274. So Abt may hold on to that prize.
I was hearing some oversteer. I could hear the rear tires chirping one of the Mahindras. I'm not sure which one, but one of them it sounds like is maybe suffering with a bit of oversteer, where the back end of the car wants to slide around when they lean on it in the middle of a corner. Sam Bird is up to 1.9 seconds into the lead right now. And when it's flowing, a street circuit is all about rhythm, and he is clearly in a rhythm.
And he's still got energy in hand over the chasing cars, hasn't he?
Robin French is in the pit, speaking of energy, pitted out of P5.
Tumbling down the order. Let me correct something I said a moment ago. You cannot use fan boost to set the Visa fast lap.
We see Robin French's pit stop in the Andretti pit.
Again, same deal as it was with all the others, that 47 seconds to make sure that the belts are done. Let's take a look at Jerome D'Ambrosio.
From a long way back, wow. And then he's trying to stop, oh wow. No, and he's hit the rear wing. Has he hit the rear wing or not?
Didn't look like it.
That was identical to the Felix Rosenqvist incident yesterday. Let's see, did he get the wing?
I tell you what did happen.
Yeah, he
Oh
did.
yeah, he did.
Lloyd Duval got a free spot because he sneaked through in front.
I think he's okay. That wing does not look damaged. Another tough day for the Dragon Boys and Jay Penske.
Sort of outside the top 5, it's all arms and elbows, isn't it? You know, positions are changing left, right and centre. Really, I mean, there is a lot of actual racing going on. This place has got places to pass.
It's so funny. You see the guys up front and they're very smooth and you can see it's all just working well, and you see the guys near the back just, as you say, arms and elbows, throwing everything at it, trying to manhandle these cars around. And these cars, so a lot of times, do not appreciate being manhandled around. It's a very narrow grip window. Sam Bird increasing that gap again, 2.1 seconds. That's about the right gap, I'd say. You don't want to really use up your equipment, use up your energy unless you really have to.
Once again, the changes from grid position and the big winners thus far, Antonio Felix da Costa, Loic Duval, have each come up 8 places, as has Nico Prost.
Significant winner, though, has got to be Lucas di Grassi, 9th to 5th at the moment. You know, he's got to try and get Gasly. He's got a long time to do it in.
Back.
Well, hang on, is that Prost right behind di Grassi? Yes, it is. Yes, Prost it is. Right behind di Grassi. So
can you hear the Jaws music? This is important. This is so important for the championship, for Nico Prost's teammate, who is not here, Sebastian Buemi. Nico Prost needs to make this pass and needs to stay ahead of him.
Prost was 0.3 quicker than di Grassi on the last lap, and Gasly in front was half a second quicker than di Grassi. The Renaults, as we saw yesterday, going faster as the race progresses compared to their rivals. And this could be a loss of this place, could cost di Grassi the championship on the final day in Montreal.
And di Grassi has fan boost if he needs to defend. Whether he's got the energy to actually use the fan boost though, or whether he uses it in the right place, is a completely different thing. Look at him going slightly defensive into one. The last thing he wants to do though, lock up, make a mistake and just gift the position to Nico Prost.
Same SOC as Prost. Same SOC as Prost.
That means the energy.
Yeah.
Energy, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Usable energy.
So di Grassi knows Prost is right there and knows the implications of that.
I'm going to say SOC as state of charge, perhaps?
Could be. We love an acronym, don't we?
We do.
Again, Nico Prost, nice and smooth. He doesn't look like he's pushing too hard, unlike these boys, the 2 Dragon guys, and Antonio Felix da Costa in the Amlin Andretti car. It's interesting talking to Jens Markert about the BMW tie-up and how they're going to start really focusing on that. They're already developing back in Munich the powertrain going forward. That'll be a big help to the Andretti organisation.
30 laps complete.
Jens Markert with a lot on his plates, developing a new powertrain for Formula E. New GTE racer coming in the 8 series, in the shape of the 8 series.
See if Duval is feeling brave into turn 1, if he can carry that momentum through this long turn 10. He's a little bit far back, but we've seen passes from further back than that.
Duval's not got much speed advantage, but he's going the long way round.
He's setting up for a pass into 2, isn't he? He's going to try the cut back. He's trying to put him offline, but no, he just wasn't quite quick enough off of turn 1. You can see da Costa looking in that right-hand mirror. How much can I come over? I don't want to break on that dirty line. I saw what happened yesterday.
White nose is Duval, the black nose behind his teammate D'Ambrosio. They just have reversed colour schemes.
Which is enormously helpful in telling them apart on the racetrack.
If only I could remember which was white at the front.
Right.
I know they're different. I just can't remember which.
Da Costa's feeling quite confident there. He left the door open. He thought he had enough of a gap. He was attacking himself, pushing on the limit into turn 6 rather than a bit of lift and coast.
On the back of this queue as well, Adam Carroll in the Jaguar, 11th place. There's a point riding on the car in front of him, the black nose car of Jerome D'Ambrosio, so that's where Carroll wants to go.
And he got a point yesterday, Adam Carroll, P10 yesterday, so bit by bit, he's trying his best to get points on that Jaguar, and he's driving very good races. Seems to struggle a little bit in qualifying, but his races have been exemplary. And here we go, look, Duval. Oh no, trying to muscle. Oh wow, it worked.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. He might get a little interview with the stewards after that. He kind of muscled him a bit, didn't he?
Isn't that what Antonio tried to do down into turn 1 yesterday as well?
Oh yeah.
Overly shut the door.
Jay Penske looking on, team principal at Faraday Future Dragon Racing.
He's going to be happy with that one. They both got past.
Yes, absolutely. So now Adam Carroll's point rides with Antonio Felix da Costa's car.
Let's see that again. Look, he gets alongside and he starts to defend, drive into him, and da Costa drives back into him, and then unfortunately misses the braking point. That was a bit naughty. That was heavy, aggressive street course racing. Just watch how the Dragon car goes right towards the Andretti goes left towards the Dragon car.
Drive-through penalty has been announced, but we haven't get to this incident yet. It's for Nelson Piquet, and again, they were investigating him earlier. Clearly he's been assigned a drive-through penalty. For what? I can't tell you. I don't know. It may well be a lap 1 incident.
Look how smooth it is through turn 10. You've got that small dip in the track, but that doesn't really affect them. And then you get onto this old surface in a minute, and the car is all bashing around. And you really need the whole, the dampers to be working well. I think Piquet's penalty is because he did not serve his penalty from earlier. A lot of penalties going on today. He had that 10-second penalty, didn't he?
That's a time penalty.
Maybe
stop and go.
Well, I think maybe serve it in the pit stop. Maybe that's what they have to do.
Oh, yes.
I'm guessing on that.
I hadn't thought that.
Nelson, we have a drive-through penalty. Drive-through penalty. Through the pits this lap.
Much bigger penalty.
Yeah.
Rather than 10 seconds, that's going to cost him a good bit more than that.
A bit more.
Well, he'll go from 14th to last, which is 16th at the moment.
Just not having a good day, are they?
Saying we should have taken our penalty during the full course yellow. Full course yellow. My mistake. Apologies. Drive through. Carry on.
As this is happening, Sam Bird is just here. You see him quietly going about his job. 2.8 seconds up the road. Looks serene. He's catching, but they'll get the blue flags. Get out of the way.
Off he goes. Does Bird. Then we have Rosenquist and Heidfeld, the Mahindra twins.
Should be 1.09.
Engineers continuing to confer with Sam Bird on the race lead.
This is big for the championship for Sam. It's getting him into contention for that battle with Felix Rosenquist for third.
Pierre Gasly is almost 10 full seconds behind the second and third place cars. Then Lucas di Grassi another couple of seconds back. Nico Prost has dropped well back from di Grassi.
I want to take my hat off to Pierre Gasly so far. He's done such a good job with really minimal preparation. He didn't even get to do the shakedown on Friday. He was flying across the Atlantic from some Red Bull simulator duties. To me, he's done a fantastic job, and he obviously learned a heck of a lot yesterday. We see him on camera as he crosses the surface change into turn 2 here.
I agree.
He's clearly an exceptional driver, having won the GP2 championship in 2016, but he's shown versatility as well.
This is basically the same kind of race that we saw unfold 4 weeks ago in Berlin, when the Mahindras, and in that case, Sebastian Buemi in the Renault E-Dams car, were just streaks ahead of everybody else. They just opened a big gap at the Tempelhof Airport circuit and simply motored away at their leisure.
It says a lot about the development Mahindra have done, because, yeah, one lap pace, we've talked about it. One lap pace is one thing, but to actually, there we go, today, let's do it. To have the pace to be up in the race and to be consistently fast enough to be running there. Very, very impressive.
Oh, Heidfeld goes through past Rosenquist.
Wow.
Change for second.
14.79.
And Piquet is between them and Bird.
Anticipate beat the bips. Anticipate a little bit the bips.
They're talking about beeps. Every time that they have to save energy, the car beeps in the driver's ear, essentially, and that's a way of knowing exactly when you should be lifting and coasting and saving energy. And that's a new development for really season 2. It started to happen. Season 1, they just had to sort of somewhat guess.
So saying anticipate the beeps, by which he means the beeps aren't beeping early enough. You're going to have to know where they are, but feather it a little bit earlier.
It's not a good thing. Here we see the pass. Crikey. He's clearly let him through from a long way back. Look at that. Does that mean Rosenqvist is in trouble with temperature?
Remember early on in the weekend they were saying that we may be having to lift and coast from turn 10 to turn 1, and it looks as though...
Tell me the number.
But look at the usable energy, it's the same.
Yeah.
They've got the same
Heidfeld
fuel
was
in the tank.
a little earlier.
27.9 something.
Okay, so there's his engineer. So they're now having a quick conflab in the garage off RT, so they don't bother Felix with it.
Copy, mate. We must finish the race with 0.2 kilowatts.
This is
0.2.
Something is going on here, because for Heidfeld to drive away at that pace, it sounds like they're trying to get him to reset something or rejig one of the settings on the car.
So just to avoid struggling the last lap with the energy, anticipate the bips, and that's all.
Okay, they just want him to save a bit of energy, save a bit of fuel in the tank if you want.
Yes.
Careful on the regen.
13.34.
Sam Bird's up to 4.3 seconds ahead. He's just having such a calm afternoon that we're not really focusing on him. He's just getting about, doing his job, going about his business.
12 laps to go after this. 37
there he is,
completed.
our leader. And because he's sort of smaller of a stature, he can put the lock in and he can get his hands all the way down round the wheel, where some guys have to almost shuffle the wheel to get maximum lock. These Formula E cars are a very slow steering line. Look at that, just floated the rear end into the corner, and on the limit, but not above it.
It's not a wheel at all. It's a yoke, and there are 2 hand grips. And so you have to be careful where you grab, or you're going to get nothing but a fistful of air.
12.26.
And on the back, you have the regen paddles. You have some flaps for changing gear if you've got one of the transmission that's got a couple of gears in it. When that thing spins, trust me, those flaps, those paddles grab your fingers. It hurts.
Well, they introduced those butterfly steering wheels in drag races. They don't tend to turn the corner very often, so that works well for them. Yeah.
Look at there's Sam Bird's car. He's getting more and more oversteer. He's floating the rear more. He's down to 3.9 seconds ahead. He lost a bit of time, lost 3/10 on that lap. He's starting to float the rear more. You've mentioned it, Martin, this car uses its rear tyres up.
Yeah, and that's why it's important for him to
lock
jump
the
away.
rears. Sorry, Martin, he locked the rears. You heard the transmission again shunt, and that's because he's locked the rear tyres. You see the heads-up display, him lifting and coasting. He's down, adjusting the brake balance with his left hand. Watch him here, gently to the throttle, and this has been domination so far. He's just absolutely doing a fantastic job, not over pushing it. He just has to watch that rear tyre temperature, keep his brake temps under control. He's pushing hard on it. Looks like the steering's a little bit off to the right, and sorry, to the left when he's in a straight line. Not too bad though. Again, that rear, the transmission making that noise. You hear him got to second gear out of those hairpins. He'll lift off and he'll carry that speed through this part of the corner. That's how you lift and coast. That's where you make your momentum up. That's where you make your lap time when you're trying to save energy. And he'll have a little play with the throttle through turn 10 here. It was almost flat in qualifying. Oh, he's buried it. Well done. Proper flat, never even mind driver flat. Now he's lifting. He'll pull the regen paddle and then he brakes.
Yeah. Barely a brake at all at the end, is there? Although, of course, the brakes are super efficient compared to your road car, you'd still feel like you're being thrown through the windscreen.
If you watch his head when he brakes, when he actually introduces the brakes, you see his head's going to jerk forward, and he spends plenty of hours in the gym, trust me. 4.6 seconds, so that's a nice lap.
Yeah.
Like the gap coming down just a bit.
Here's my hot pick for the podium. Gasly is reeling the back end. Don't forget what the restart, he was like the whole start-finish straight behind.
This is impressive stuff from Pierre Gasly. De Grassi still 7 seconds or
no,
so
what's
back.
happened?
That's
Daniel Lap.
Right, he's going out there for the fast lap, which he currently has, and I think he's just set on the last lap to put it further out of anyone's reach, so he's just getting out of the way, and he'll head back to the pit lane.
And Mauro Engel just took a shot at it and came up short at a 104.026. So
yeah. You see both the Dragon cars in the top 10. This is a good, so far decent day for Jay Penske's team.
Whereas for Sarrazin and Vergne, I wouldn't want to be Nicky going to talk to Jean-Éric or Stéphane Sarrazin after this.
I wouldn't want to be whoever came up with that strategy. because there'll be some words, I would imagine.
You know, sometimes I look at those and I think, all right, those people have done an awful lot more race management than me, and they must have a good idea of what was going on, but I don't see it. I just don't.
I just used to do what I was told most of the time, and so I watched them do this and I think, oh yeah, they must know better. Clearly not. Now these boys, the Dragon drivers, they're not afraid to race each other. There's more than one occasion I've had to cover my eyes in the commentary with watching how close they've got to each other. Never mind what the team think. So if they get close in these closing laps here, this could get a bit tasty.
But they're both in the points, and what they really don't want is for them to both be in the wall.
Yeah, but drivers don't think that way sometimes, do they? Now, D'Ambrosio's got 2% more than Duval, and this is going to come down to this last lap and how much energy you do have so you can attack. He's going to attack. At some point, he's going to attack his teammate and have a go at getting past.
I hadn't noticed on the top of Jerome D'Ambrosio's helmet, see, he's got Old Glory on for the weekend. I hadn't spotted that before.
There's a couple of drivers with special liveries for this all-important race, the debut of Formula E in New York City.
Why wouldn't you? It's part of something really, really massively historic in motorsport. I'm sure they're all as proud as Punch to be here as well. Sam Bird with the same usable energy as the top three. Pierre Gasly and Lucas di Grassi with Nico Prost. They're just 1% behind. But
you see the back end step out on the brakes and actually on the power too, so pretty much the whole way through the corner. That was absolutely on the limit stuff there from Loic Duval. Then you go from the back, the view from the back of the car in front. The car in front is a Dragon, the Faraday Future Dragon car. The maximum lock through that hairpin. I would imagine they're just looking at those numbers. Okay, I've got so many laps to go, and he's getting ready to pounce. When the time is right, he'll have a go.
Problem in the rearview mirror, it's getting larger than it appears. It's Antonio Felix da Costa. He was 3/10 quicker than the Dragon cars on that one last lap alone.
That is a problem, because, you know, Antonio, he's not scared about making a pass. So,
well, he's had people chucking it up the inside of him all weekend. I'm sure he fancies a bit of a stab at that himself.
Actually, with the chief steward, Andy Soucek, this weekend, or the driver steward, I'm sorry, they actually had it coming together in a GT race a couple of weeks ago, so they were having a discussion about that the other night.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
Well, while we talk about the organization of this fantastic event, not just a race, 2 races, complete with practice and qualifying. I want to thank all the members of the Sports Car Club of America, who are the turn and track marshals for this event. All volunteers traveled to New York at their own expense. Couldn't hold the race without them.
Jean-Éric Vergne is trying to make things happen. He was 2 seconds quick at the last lap ahead of Adam Carroll.
And of course, he's got 2 laps worth of energy at least in hand, but he's burning through that. You know, he's only got 27%, Adam Carroll 24, who stopped 2 laps earlier, so that's the effect it's had.
And he's passed him.
He has.
He wants a point, doesn't he? He wants. Adam Carroll was looking good for a point, but again, that temperature today out there is so hot, and it's so absolutely critical on the energy that you know, the efficiency of the drivetrain is making a big difference.
So look at the Allianz E-Village and Explorer Zone.
I think Robin Freins just got by Oliver Turvey. Yes, he did. So there they are. Yeah. That's Ollie Turvey behind. There's Robin Freins now up to 14th place.
Ticket is a given. All these drivers are driving absolutely as hard as they possibly can. Look at that, from a long way back into turn 1. Gets alongside. You don't need to go past him. Just get alongside him. And he has much more power because he stopped that little bit later.
Sailing by, sailing way out front. Sam Bird lead is now over 5 seconds, 8/10 between Heidfeld and Rosenqvist. Gasly still 4 seconds behind them though.
There's the Dragon boys. Jerome is looking, he's getting closer to Loic Duval in front of him. This Jerome D'Ambrosio with a black fronted car. You see him, his teammate right ahead, Loic Duval. World Endurance Champion, Le Mans winner. He's won a lot of championships.
Got a fraction less usable energy. We saw in Berlin, Felix Rosenqvist passed Lucas di Grassi for the lead, courtesy of 1% more usable energy.
There you go, there's the move.
Down the inside, squeezes. These two have been in this situation before.
Too many times before. He didn't leave him any more room.
They raced each other hard all the time.
Now, they both, if you're Jay Penske, you want to see them both drive away because that's close enough. Antonio Felix da Costa in that Andretti car is coming on in a hurry.
There's the view. Go away, go away.
Okay, going into turn one, we've got this long left, and as they enter turn one, watch for Antonio Felix da Costa to make this move. He's having, listen to how early he's having to lift. Here comes da Costa. Going to send him the dummy. No, but yeah, there's
Oh!
I mean, that was...
Well, that was
inelegant.
Guys.
Antonio Felix da Costa moves up. I don't suspect he will finish the race with 9th place points.
Yeah,
I think
understandable anger
Jean-Éric
in
Vergne.
the garage, but we apologize for the language.
So I think that puts both of our Techeetah cars in the points somehow, despite having conspired to drop the ball comprehensively with the pit stop strategy. The drivers are charging after it.
Look, Duval, has he got a problem? Look, Duval looks like he's got some issue.
I say da Costa got one, he's going after the other now.
They just have filth on the tyres from being tagged into a spin around that very dirty runoff area.
Look at that view. So many series from Motorsports have tried to get a foothold in the New York City market. Formula E has done it with style.
None of these drivers can see that view. You see the wall is higher than the car. All they see, it looks like almost like a tunnel, actually, as their driver, and all they're seeing is braking points, turn-in points, apexes, exit points in that wall. They cannot see any of that view. And they're focusing so hard on what's ahead, what's behind, in some cases what's beside them. Look at this dummy. Sold him a dummy. And then, on the rumble strips too, very difficult. Da Costa gets a drive-through penalty for causing a collision.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that from Da Costa's in-car.
Yeah.
To see exactly what the car in front did. Oh, that was close. Fantastic stuff.
And again, D'Ambrosio somehow had the lock to get round there.
We were concerned about that, weren't we? Here's another replay from a higher camera. We were concerned that they would have the lock to make that exact move. It was close.
Watching Duval just rip that steering wheel, try to get it turned.
And this is one of the compromises you see. One of the compromises you see on street course. And Rosenqvist back up to P2 ahead of Heidfeld.
Ahead of his teammate.
And they're down to 9% usable energy. Bird has got a 7-second lead and energy in hand. Only a fraction, but it's all he needs.
Keep in mind,
2.36.
Well,
it just doesn't help.
Nick is not going to attack you.
Rosenqvist in the championship.
0.3 in the car, left 0.3 in the car.
You see the message on Da Costa.
I'd forgotten that Heidfeld had fan boost. Is
Oh,
that
big oversteer
Oh,
from Felix Rosenqvist. Andy was on the bad part of the track. He got on all that rubble, on that, the marbles.
Almost with no reason.
You don't normally see that in Formula. You don't normally see those marbles with that tyre, because that tyre has got tread on it. They use it in the wet and the dry.
Felix, don't stick it in the wall now.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's what Dilbag is thinking right there. Dilbag Gilde. Very emotional team boss. He's so passionate about it. Yeah. That was a bit choreographed, wasn't it, really, from the Mahindra boys. Last lap.
Wow. Our race leader is on the last lap. Meanwhile, the Mahindras run second and third. Rosenqvist and Heidfeld.
Sam Bird is 9 seconds up the road.
9 seconds clear.
Energy good.
With the same amount of energy. That's a remarkable performance from DS Virgin.
And Sam Bird, it's all about carrying that momentum, how he's done it through the corners and the braking zones, and he's just absolutely nailed it. And the way they've got the car set up, fantastic.
He will become only the second man to win both races in a weekend.
He's not there yet. If you curse him, his mum's going to have a word. You know that.
That's right. His mum is here this weekend. Only Nico Prost has won 2 races on a single weekend. He did it in season 1.
Cross the line. Keep an eye on your energy as you cross the line.
Now Sam Bird is about to accomplish that. He came into the weekend saying, we didn't do as well as we had hoped in the recent doubleheader at Tempelhof Airport in Berlin, but we learned a lot. We think it will pay off here, and what a weekend it's been for DS Virgin with their patron, Sir Richard Branson, on hand. Pole for Alex Lynn on day 1, victory on day 1 and day 2 for Sam Bird, who sweeps New York.
Excellent.
And here come the Mahindra teammates.
Gasly.
Got Gasly in the middle of it. Gasly into the fence.
And again.
You beauty, you beauty.
What happened there?
Timing and scoring shows Rosenqvist, Heidfeld, Gasly in that order.
De Grassi, P5.
You see the track workers gesturing everybody to stay out of the way of those Tech Pro barriers that are now on the track.
Sam, what can I say? Excellent, excellent, double winner.
Shall we have a chat with Sam Bird? I'll let him talk to his team for a second.
Well done, boys. What a car! What a car! Well done.
I would say what a driver too. Sam, it's Dario. I'm having deja vu. Double winner and a pole position this weekend. Well done.
Thanks, Dario. Massive thanks to my team. What a transformation it's been. What a transformation. We worked so hard for this, and this is for all the boys that have put in such hard work. You know, I think some of them only had like 3 or 4 hours sleep last night while I was tucked up in bed. So this is for the boys. Well done, boys.